Faith in therapy is dripping in black.
Hey, this is Ecotech Lab. I'm Mr. Young, CEO, founder. We dripping in black.
Living Brave is dripping in black.
Black excellence, love, unity, uplifting other people, and genuinely wanting to see them win is dripping in black.
Strong families, reading and writing, academics, sports, financial prosperity, love, and so much more I can name. That's dripping in black.
The Essentials is dripping in black.
Community, collaboration, service, togetherness, using our powers and our abilities to better ourselves and one another is dripping in black.
Dripping in black is dripping in black.
So check it out. I'm DJ Crate Digger of the Mighty Sound Champion crew. I'm gonna say this. I think y'all know it, but I'm gonna say it. Black excellence is an amazing thing. So like being covered in black excellence, to be dripping in black, like black excellence is dripping in black.
Hi, this is your 2024 Miss Teen Rodeo Washington, Jessa Thomas. I'm here with the Dripping in Black Productions, and I just would love to say that cowgirls of color are dripping in black.
My name is Kimberly Willis, and my confidence is dripping in black.
Animation Discovery Studio is dripping in black.
Black mental health is dripping in black.
My mind, my body, and my spirit is dripping in black with love.
Welcome to the Season 4 finale of the Dripping in Black podcast. Join our executive producer, Shawn Smith, along with our special guest host, Mr. Pete and Dominic Lawson.
Dripping in Black family. I am Shawn Smith, the executive producer of Dripping in Black. And since this is the season finale, what we call the Creator's Drip, first of all, let me introduce the people that's with me today. My guys that came in in the ninth hour to help a brother out. We have all the way from Jacksonville, Duval County, Mr. Pete.
Yeah, man. What's the word? I'm here with my family. What's happening, y'all?
Then we have down little southwest, a little bit from Michigan. We have my man, Memphis own multi-infinity, I should have put the infinity sign up, award-winning podcaster, Dominic Lawson.
Mr. I don't use Cash App anymore.
Right.
I had to throw that in there.
Gotta throw that mug away. But yes. We cannot hear you, Dominic.
Uh-oh.
You know what? That's because I was on mute. See, that's what it is. That's what happened. You're on mute. What's up, Driven in Black family? Hope y'all doing well. Thank you so much for having me. That's what happens when you're on mute, man.
And that's what happened when you don't use Cash App. You got to come into the hood. You got to come into the hood.
Cash App God's coming to get you, man.
Oh,
so we have it again. This is a season finale, and I had our special guest host for the second half of the season, and they kind of split in half. Second half of the season, and with people that know, our regular host, David Lewis, V Lewis, got to put that V in there. He had it was a hard year for him. He lost his brother before we started recording in July, and then lost his mother in November. So to ease it, we gave some space and things like that. So we decided to keep on going. And I tried this idea of let's do some special guest hosts, and my boys came through. So first of all, the first thanks go to you all, because you took over the second half of Dripping in Black. So I appreciate you all. Like Dominic said, I pay them in mugs. So, you know, we ain't got nothing. We don't got no paywall yet.
It is what it is, man. Got to drink out of something.
Yeah.
Right.
So again, I appreciate them wholeheartedly for giving their talent, their time, and their effort. We'll talk a little bit about what, you know, their experience was as host. But tell us, you know, I did a little introduction, but remind the people who you are again for the stuff that I missed. Give them that details.
Go for it, Al Pete.
All right, cool. Mr. Al Pete, hip hop artist, DJ, media professional, your favorite cousin, that you know in your family. I'm that guy. The founder of the NPN Network, it's a media company that specializes in podcasting and highlighting creators, influencers, musicians, podcasters, etc. Whatnot. So that's me in a nutshell, man. And I got a couple of shows here, a couple of shows there. But you can check everything out on MrAlpete.com, mpn-llc.com. I do a lot of work with my brothers on here right now. So past stuff, present stuff, and future stuff. You see Al Pete in the midst of all of it. So I'm that guy when it comes to a lot of the things.
Absolutely. And I'm Dominic Lawson. It's funny because, you know, it's Al Pete. You just said he's your favorite cousin. Now you call him Cousin Pete. But anyway, I'm Dominic Lawson, multi-award winning podcaster. 23 is the count as of right now. Was definitely happy to be a guest host here on Dripping in Black. I do multiple podcasting ventures, from the Black is America podcast to a few shows in behavioral health when it comes to Beyond Theory, Recovery Replay. Got my started back in podcasting way back in 2016 with the Startup Life with 300 plus episodes there. So I'm not new to this. I'm true to it. So, you know, definitely in this podcast game, and definitely was just jumping at the bit to do this guest host thing with my guy Al Pete for Dripping in Black.
All right, man. Again, I appreciate. Now, with your mugs, I might send y'all some stickers too. I got some stickers too.
Hey,
so,
I'm with it.
You know,
look, Al Pete. Look, Al Pete. Them negotiations coming through. Look at them. Them negotiations coming through.
I'm gonna save all my jokes for later. Now that I got some stickers coming, I ain't saying nothing.
Right. Right.
Yeah, we're still in negotiations as far as compensation is concerned for this year. So, you know, I want to start you off with, and again, this is our summary. So like I say, the first half, David, I believe it split at 7-6. I believe it was 7-6. We have our first 7 with David, and then you all came and finished it out. So my first question was to you all. You all have your different formats, and I'm always talking about Al. I love Al because every podcast that he's with is a different version of Al. You know, you got Thoughtful Al, Dr. Peterson. You have Happy Al with Flowers for the Culture. Then you have the administrator Al with the Soul Curators. He'll come in there, throw his music knowledge in there every once in a while. I want him more often, but you know, I can't, you know, beggars can't be choosy, you know. So how was it to go on someone else's platform and host?
Well, first off, I appreciate both of y'all individually and collectively for, you know, feeling that I can hold that title. And it was funny to my people that's listening. It's funny because I just woke up one day and looked at a message on my phone, and I was signed up for this situation. I was like, I'm with it. And these two people, and it's actually Dom. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna call it Dom.
Thank you.
But you know what? The serious side of this is, and I don't even think we've talked about this. If we have, it might have been in the room or whatnot. But I know me and Dom talked specifically about me getting into that lane of hosting and that side of journalism in that regards or whatever. So correct me if I'm wrong, Dom, but I feel like that might have been an alley-oop, you know what I'm saying, for this to occur. And if it wasn't, you did a great job at doing it, because me doing this particular venture with first off my family, and two, just, you know, totally stepping into something that I was familiar with and I was a guest on, but it still was like a blurry line or whatever. And I say blurry meaning like, you know, you like, okay, well, all right, I could do this, but it's like, nah, I got to research. I got to make sure that I'm comfortable with myself. I got to make sure I'm representing the brand that's not even mine. Like, I'm stepping into a brand that I love and I appreciate. So all of those things just made me appreciative of like my abilities to do things, but it did show me a good line of me being able to take somebody else's brand and being able to represent it the way that I feel like the owner, the founder of the brand wanted it to be represented. So I it was cool, man. And then at the same time too, and I'll hush, but me being in the podcasting spirit that I was in at the time I started this, it definitely got me back into like wanting to podcast more. So I'm thankful that I was able to get back into that space like that, because I was very uncertain about like where I was in the podcasting space. And I'm glad that I have people like Dom and Square Crate, the C4 crew, you know, that they remind you that, you know, you're a part of this space and you're welcome in this space. So this was one of those activities that showed me that I was able to be back in that space. And yeah, I'm just appreciative for that for sure. So it was cool, man. I'm looking forward to do more if you do the thing, if you bring us back. I am signed up.
Oh, boy, you better be careful. You better be careful. Better be careful.
I was taking it loosely, so we good.
All right. Again, I appreciate again your work, your efforts, and you know, your time. You know, that's my biggest thing. You know, don't waste my time, waste my money, waste all my other stuff, but don't waste my time. We're gonna be fighting if that's the case. So Dom, same question.
Yeah, you know, I think, you know, I want to address something Al P said. I think the stars kind of aligned, right? I think you were in a space talking about more about communications, more about journalism and stuff like that. And so that's why I just kind of volunteered you. I was like, I knew I would do it. And so I thought maybe it'd be a good alley for you to kind of like just kind of join me in this process, right? And I'm so glad that you did, even though I kind of put you on the spot. I am sorry about that, but I am glad that you did it.
And I appreciate it.
Right. But nah, man, like, you know, I really appreciated the opportunity. I wanted to be able to, I thought it was a great challenge for me as a podcaster to kind of stretch and grow in that regard. So before I even you know, took the mic with that first interview, even though it was with Crate, right? You know, we all know Crate, love Crate, this, that, and the other. I really did go and study transitions from like night shows, right? Like when people go from a, you know, Johnny Carson to Jay Leno or whatever the case may be, because I wanted to be respectful of David, the previous host and stuff like that, who was doing it beforehand, but also kind of put my own spin, uphold the Dripping in Black brand and stuff like that. So, and I think that's some of that behind the scenes stuff that people don't get to see. And that we really do take this craft of podcasting serious. And so that's why I wanted to go through that process. But I learned a lot. It really got me back into my interview bag because, you know, S Square LP, you know, I do nonfiction narrative. So a lot of times the interviews I do is like heavily edited and stuff like that on the back end, right? So to be able to get back to my one-on-one interview kind of phase really helped me out with, you know, my other shows that I was doing in behavioral health and stuff like that. So I appreciate the opportunity to be stretched and molded in a new way. And so it was a great opportunity and I would love to do it again.
Again, y'all better be careful. Y'all better be careful.
I don't sign nothing I ain't happy with, sir. So you good. Long time that I ain't happy
Yeah,
with.
we did have a lot of conversations about contracts. And as a producer, it was interesting because David and I have been doing this. This is our 4th year. It was interesting to have different hosts for this platform. We had Raw Conversation, which was a different beast in itself. It was fun. That was my thing when I was talking about Al. That was my fun thing. Raw was my fun thing. Dripping in Black took a lot more work to do. It wasn't saying that wasn't fun, but it wasn't high fun. It was, let me get to all this research. You want to get these people straight. And everybody know I had a story this week about the last episode that whatever could go wrong. And I finished it early. Whatever could go wrong went wrong. So, you have those. And one of the things when I was going into it, and I know I have these award winnings because Al has won awards as well. Award-winning podcasters is that I got to let them be them. That was one thing. Now there were some staples in there that definitely David has helped produce and brought to Dripping in Black, and there's some staples there, so we kept those staples. But let them do to do them, and it was fascinating because I'm a learner, a lifelong learner, and it was fascinating to see you all do it and see you all use your superpowers, and they're different, but it's great. So that was one of the things that I learned and appreciated, and that's one of the things that I would like to do more. I'm working, knock on wood, that some of these other shows will come to fruition, but there's that's what I like to do. I like to bring that. Remember the moniker for Dripping in Black Productions is synthesize thoughts and create masterpieces. I like to create masterpieces. And I like to hear those stories, and those stories are so rich. I was listening to Dominic's as of today, as we record this, Dominic's new episode came out on Black is America. And I'm always fascinated how he does his work there. And no, this was like he said, this is different for him, because although he did in Recovery Replay and all the other award winning, all those award winning podcasts they do, he does do some interviews, but his baby, is it's got to be Black is America. So, and he does that. So y'all could go any order in this last question. Is what was your highlights? What did you get from this this experiment? When I kind of experiment, help me out, bail out, whatever you want to call it, wherever side you fall on. What was the highlights for you to finish out the season?
I'll take this one. I think the highlights for me there's two of them. One, it actually started with the first one with Crate, right? We talked to Crate, here and there in different platforms and stuff like that, and engage with him and stuff like that. But to interview Crate allowed me to see the inner workings of Crate and the integrity he does his work with, and the excitement and passion that he does with. So it was able to get some of those stories out of him and see him in a different light. But also what I got out of it, with the last two interviews I was able to do and really get into that mental health, behavioral health bag, if you will, and really dive into those conversations and hear these two Black women really talk about, their journeys and their work, whether it be through books, whether it be through social work, this, that, and the third. And so I think those were some of the highlights for me, S Squared.
Okay, and y'all got deep in it. I said, "Oh, this is his back." In fact, it gave us a question we discussed this week. Was that a passion of yours beforehand, before you got to your last job? Was
Right.
that a passion of yours beforehand, and you learned or did you learn that on the job? And we talked about that as how you learned that on the job, and you were with the renowned experts in that field. So you got a crash course with the masters.
Yeah, and I think I don't think I would have been able to have those high level conversations on Dripping in Black had I not did that work beforehand, right? Like I think I would have did a decent job, but we were able to get into some stuff that I think normally people don't want to talk about, right? And I think that's always the good bits that people want to hear on podcasting, especially on Dripping in Black, and definitely what highlighted their excellence and what they do in their field and what makes them, Black excellence personified. But I think diving into that behavioral health piece and really digging into those stories was definitely gratifying for me.
LP?
Highlight. So from a technical standpoint, so I remember it was the first interview that I did. That was up for when we interviewed was it Jessa, right?
Jessa Thomas.
So I don't know how it happened, but I had to end up recording the episode at my job. But I had to, so I went to the library and I had to book a area to use it. And I was like, yo, I don't know. I can't tell you why that situation occurred like that, but nevertheless, I brought all my stuff, but I ended up leaving like my microphone. The most important thing that you need when you're recording a podcast, because I'm always talking about audio, and you don't have no microphone. Like, what's the purpose of doing it? So, but outside of that part, like, I was scrambling like crazy. And part of that was because I was like, I need to represent Square to the best of my ability on this. Granted, NPN, I'm going to do the same thing, but it was just a different type of mindset, and it was a different type of energy that I was like giving off in the process of doing that. And the way that I set everything up, like like nobody could tell what was going on. And I think I might have said some little stuff here and there, but like I had double recordings of everything, and I still got them to this day. I got a side recording of the video. I got two sources that recorded audio, just in case something happened on Square End. I was like, look, if Square would have came back and said, yo, the audio messed up, here you go. The video would have been messed up, here you go. You know what I'm saying?
You're a better man than I am.
So, but it reassured me that I'm ready for the war. I'm ready for, and I don't even want to call it the war or whatnot, but I'm just ready for all these situations, outside of myself and outside, and for my brothers in this land of podcasting. So that was one major highlight. The reminder that I got as well is talking to people that really have like dynamic stories and being able to learn from these people. Like, it was so good to learn from both of the young ladies that I interviewed, and just seeing the enriched spirit that they had and their knowledge of. It was almost like a reflection of like, so when you talk to me, one of the main things I love, the things that I love is hip hop music, but specifically hip hop and media, anything media, whatever. But when it comes to hip hop, like, you can talk to me about hip hop all day, every day, and I'm a match you. But it was cool to see somebody talk about like horses and stuff, and I was like, they was just as passionate about that as if I am with hip hop. And so it gives you a different type of humanity when it comes to talking to people, and it just make you feel good, because if you about that humanity action when it comes to people, it make you feel like, okay, well, I'm not the only person in this world that's walking this earth that loves something, that respects something, and has faith in it, and has grace and courage, and will go to the higher levels to make sure that this is represented how it is. So it's good to talk to these people, and of course the main part of it being the fact that these were Black people, being black women as well, just being able to talk about these things. So those are like my two highlights that I really got from that. I mean, the third one was definitely my interviewing skills. Like I said, it got me back into the groove and got me thinking more about where I want to go in the future with me being like a host. So I was like, all right, I got some homework I want to do. Like I said, I got to watch my Dan Rather joint. I got to finish that. Like it's stuff like that that's making me like, it's opening my brain a lot more, man. And I'm looking forward to illustrating a lot of that in the next seasons in Dripping in Black and with Dom stuff, whatever I need to be at. So
Can I chime in on that? Because I want to add something to Al P said, because
Yes, sir.
I think doing Dripping in Black, like I said, it really informed my other work, because recently I did like a really big interview in New York and Central in Manhattan and stuff like that. I'm like, hey, I want my camera here, I want my camera here, I want a 3-shot, I want this roving shot here. And I think being on Dripping in Black and getting back in the habit of being on camera and stuff like that really allowed me that confidence to even take that a step further in my own work. Right. So I think it was giving me ideas to kind of try some stuff and do different things. And so when Al P said that, that's what came up for me. So I wanted to make sure I get that on wax.
Can I say something real quick, Square?
Oh yeah.
So Dom, I want to ask you that. Like, I mean, I know we've talked about it in passing and in depth or whatnot, but I'm sitting here thinking, and and when you're talking, and I'm thinking like, I've always, well, you being in this space doing the interviews, right? It doesn't seem foreign to me or new to me for some reason. And it might be biased because we know each other for a good bit now, but I don't know. I just seen like you being in front of the camera and being the personality that you are. It just didn't seem foreign to me. But I understand what you're saying in regards to like wanting to build your chops up, and this is the place to do it. But yeah.
Right. No, for sure. And I think there's also an aspect of like iron sharpens iron, right? And I see you do your work and come on Dripping in Black. And I think like, okay, I can roll with the big dogs. I could do this, right? Not that I was ever afraid being on camera, but I think the Dripping in Black experience gave me a deeper value for being on camera. Right. And so again, that, like I said, that informed my work with, beyond theory, like, hey, I want this different type of camera shot. Hey, let's make sure we have this in the shot, stuff like that. So I think that just enhanced my overall interview acumen, but also presentation of the work that I do. It was definitely informed by Dripping in Black in this experience.
I love it.
Y'all gonna make me cry, man.
Square, you are not about to cry. Don't even act like you're crying.
You cry. I'm sensitive, man. I'm sensitive.
It was almost like Dripping in Black was a bit of a playground, right? And when S Square was talking about kind of let us be us, he allowed us to do that. So just want to say that I'm shut up now, I promise.
you good, man. As long as we get Al out of here for his next thing, we good.
Hey man, they can wait, but
no, we gonna respect that time. But like I said, it was again, y'all help the brother out. Again, I can never thank you enough for that, pay you enough for that. Although y'all want something, that's why we're in negotiation. We're in fierce negotiation. Shout out to Crate. Crate was the first one that we did this with. And I actually I'm going back to when we used to do Creators Drip. I used to wear merch from people that's a part of us, or even, Black merchants that even we haven't had them on the show yet. So this was a Crate creation for us. I tell everybody I'm Sean and I'm also S Square, but that's for Sean Connors though. So shout out to Crate.
Shout out to Connors and Crate.
Oh yes, and it's all C4 folks.
Absolutely.
Good, bad, and indifference. We got love, and we go hard in the chat when we need to. And iron sharpen iron. That's always been a moniker of mine as well. Before we get out of here, because again, this is our season finale, and I'm going to thank everybody that was on the season. Of course, I got to thank you all Definitely for filling in for David. So we keep it going because that space in between there was killing me, man. It was killing me. Like I said, we did some special episodes in December, but we had, it was time to, and there was nothing. This is the first time there was nothing in the coffers in the back, so we had to do it from scratch. Hopefully you all will like when you see this episode, because this is the first episode on the new platform. We'll see how good it works, or see if I'm throwing it away, one or the other. Did y'all have anything that y'all wanted to ask me since y'all was the guest and I was the EP behind the glass, as Dominic always like to say?
Well, I mean, besides when I check it, I think
it's on Cash App.
Fair. Oh, I see. I see what you did there. Okay, I see how it is. I got you. I got you. I got you. I guess listen, man. I'm always looking to improve, and so just curious if there's something that you wish you would have seen more of, or something like that. Think if we could run it back, if they were just like, I wish we could have dove into this more, or something like that. Maybe we could run that back on season 6. So I'm always looking for that type of feedback.
You skipping the season. We might do it on 6 too, but 5 is coming up.
Gotcha.
No, because I want to learn from you all. Like I said, if I gave you some parameters, but let you be you. Let me see what I'm learning. Like I said, that you came up with a mental health term that a mental health expert haven't heard yet. So that's how deep you are. Al, Al is the community guy. And, he went to church with Kim Willis, let's go to this church thing and explored that. And it's just you all. Again, that's why I enjoy your company, but I also enjoy your work. And it's for me to do. So it would be almost stifling if I had to tell or had some expectation. One of my words is phrases from one of the autumn books I've read is expect nothing and accept everything. And when I did that, I learned so much from you all. And just again, I say, yep, that's Al. That's an Al question. That's a Dominic. I got you, Dominic. And the feedback has been good. And I got to share the feedback with you. So we got to have another meeting soon. No. So to answer your question quickly, no. It went the way it's supposed to have went, and I'm grateful for that.
That's cool. What I will say, it was real. It was also interesting and cool to work with, an EP like on the fly like that. Like Kendra usually when she does her EP thing is usually like in post, right? So like it was kind of cool to kind of have that feedback in game, like where he's like, all right, Dom, let's start to wrap it up or whatever. Like, okay, Dom, I see where you're going with this, that, and the other. And so that kind of helped in that feedback loop in real time was helpful as well. I want to make sure I gave you your flowers on that.
Thank you. So how was it? How was that transition? And I guess the last one I will ask you both, I'll kind of do this. You have been a host of it, and you also have been featured on it as well. You are alum as well. The differences. Which one you prefer? No, I know which one you prefer. No, I scratched that. Y'all gonna go back into the the hosting thing. I already know that one. But you've been on both sides of it.
Yeah.
Comments on that, and I'm leave it there.
Listen, if I always enjoy being coached, because I naturally come from an environment, personally and professionally, where I'm always doing the coaching versus me being coached. So anytime, all the conversations that we've had, y'all know, I mean, I know y'all hear it in my voice, or I'll say it directly. Like, it just feels good to not lead and sometimes be a follower. And sometimes it's just good to be on the follower side or be on the coach, being coach side, because it gives me a little more perspective on things, give me a clearer look on things, make me look at angles that I might not look at. And indirectly sometimes, and for us, we're bona fide professionals, but we have situations where we're indirectly missing things, and it's not on some bad thing at all, but we just because we're so busy nurturing what we have going on, and we're being the coach, and we can turn from being a coach to being a player to being coached. It's those type of levels. But I always enjoy being coached, or when directions are given to me, like, okay, I can follow this, and I can stick to the script as well as be myself. Oh man, like, because 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna show up as myself for sure, but it still was cool to be in line with what Dripping in Black stands for, what it is, the person behind it. It still was cool to be like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna come and make sure I'm straight. Da, 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 da. Like, I'm gonna really be pissed off that I didn't have this mug. You know what I'm saying? So, like, literally, and I don't have my mug. It's in the kitchen, but every day I drank from my mug, my B mug. You know what I'm saying? And I drank my tea in it daily. I mean, I'm talking about, like, I wash it out of everything, but that's that's because I just wanted to represent the brand very well. And I'm like, I felt like that was me dropping a ball in the first game of the playoffs when I should have passed it. Like, so I'm like, okay, let me keep this cup on me. So when I move, it's just that type of mentality. So I enjoyed that being coach part. It definitely strengthens me from the on a coach tip as well. Like, I could, like, when I go and do my recordings for Soul Curators, I know how to, like, present myself a little bit more. I'll be able to say, okay, well, let me itemize this a little bit more so people can understand it or whatever, because your directions and your guidance was so clear, and for me to see it from that side.
Now, y'all know I ain't doing too much coaching. In fact, I'm probably on the phone texting y'all in the chat, the message saying, "Man, this dude is on his game, man. Y'all need to. If y'all ain't hearing our boy. Y'all need to be here. He on his game." So I'm usually I'm sitting up here doing this. I can't see the phone. I'm texting, man, because I've watched. That my work. Well, I'm watching the screen and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm not doing that much coaching, folks. I'm not doing that much coaching. But I do appreciate that. But I do want to thank, I guess, this season. That's not in the order in which they came in. I think they was in alphabetical order, and I messed that up too. Patrice Barden, Tamika Christie, Bianca Dissette, Pia Hargrove, our boy Crate Digger. Again, this is on Crate Digger show. Kimberly Willis, Darius Lewis, which was David's son. Whitney Marie, former student. Jasmine, Whitney was David's student, but we was at the same school. Jasmine Noble, Avis and Zale Randall, Jessa Thomas, and Dorian Withrow Jr. and Keith Young. Those was our guests this season. Much love to y'all. Again, y'all stuck with us, because when you become a Dripping in Black alum, that's one of the reasons that's one of the reasons why I stay on social media. Everybody know I hate social media for the most part, but I stay on there to keep up with those people. In fact, today, a former guest called. She said, after 3 years, she did her 3 years ago. After 3 years, she's getting opportunity, and the story that she told was pretty much she's getting paid to speak. And one of the things that they found on her was the Dripping in Black episode, because they asked her, your podcast was great. She was saying, "What? I don't have no podcast. What are you talking about? Dripping in Black." He said, "Oh, I was on there." So she called me today to thank us for giving her an opportunity, and she was just telling us, what else was going on. Now she's in a doctorate program, doctoral program.
Wow.
So
Amazing, man.
and though I said that's the reason why it started. All these great stories out here, Dom, the master storyteller. These great stories out here of these people that we can touch. We got phone numbers too. We have celebrities and stuff like that. That's fine, and they have stories too. But there's so many other ones that's inspiring and that can support you to get to where your story needs to get to. So that was a story that happened today. So as we're recording, of course, I don't know when I'm releasing this. Hopefully this will be released sometime this week, but they don't know what week I'm talking about, so we good. All right. So tell us where
Congratulations on that, man. That's
absolutely.
That's
yeah.
major.
Thank you.
Major.
Thank you. We out in the streets, and and all how I tell it, which would get me to my last part, is especially with her. Some of the greatest moments in Dripping in Black happens after the interview. As we start talking and stuff like that. And she was one of the ones that I said, this is not a spiel. I'm listening to her say, you know what? You got all this information. Maybe you should think about doing a podcast to get yourself out, out there to sell to, because she had a business at the time. She kind of let that business go to pursue what she's doing now. So she's going to be bigger and better because she out there speaking for money and speaking for good money. So, that again, that's what it's all about. So in the, let me sum this up so I can get y'all out of here. But, yeah, that story was right on time. Coming up for Dripping in Black, we call it, we had a name for it at one point. I forgot the name of it now, but anyway, coming up for Dripping in Black, I would love to do a live show face to face somewhere. I'm still working on that. Dripping in Black was meant to be outside, and COVID stopped that. So that's something else we starting to look at. Season 5, Dripping in Black Day is September 17th, y'all. And it actually is on a Tuesday. So that should be the first one, knock on wood, for the season 5. And also the Dripping in Black universe, that's what I call it now. You want gear? Dripping in Black hat. Show your shirt, Don. That's the DIBK Drip Shop. DIBKDripShop.com. If you are interested in doing your own podcast or serving on or other audio visual needs, we have DIBKProductions.com. I need to get back on that website again. DIBK. And of course, Dripping in Black. You go there, you can get to everywhere. DrippingInBlack.com. That is there for everyone. So, again, I'm thanking my boys, Al, Pete, Dominic, for coming through for a brother. I paid them poorly, but yet they still came through. They got a mug, maybe some gear. Like I said, when I see them, Afro and Audio, or even before there, y'all can get some stickers, my experimental stickers. So, again,
I need one for my laptop. I need a sticker for my laptop.
I'm sending you some too. Al, Pete, tell them where they can find you and what's coming up for you. Same thing for you, Dominic.
All right. So, in the old Negro words of the late great Gangsta Boo, where the dollars at?
Yes, sir.
Where them dollars at? I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
Dollars at. So shouts out to Memphis on that. So just wanted to throw that joke in there.
Love it.
Mr. LP, MrLP.com. That's my personal my personal website. mpn-llc.com. That's the MPN Network website. What I have coming up, I got about 5 or 6 episodes of The Neighbor's Way. It's another brand that I built up from school. Currently in school now, so I'm releasing those episodes. First one I probably be like tomorrow, Wednesday. So I'm trying to get that Neighbor's Way. That's me being an interviewer and all that stuff. So all those are in the chamber. So you can go to mpn-llc.com and follow that. That's going to run up the summer. What else do I have coming up? I mean, I'm still writing on
app.
Oh, the app. Yes.
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 The app, the mysterious app.
Yes, the MPN Network app. Please go download the mysterious app. It's on mpn-llc.com/MPN radio. So you can go on there and download the app to listen to the shows, podcast shows, music shows, and all the great things. So we're just building that up. That's gonna be for the summer, man, and I really want to get my logistics straight for MPN because fall and winter, I just want to make sure that I'm good to go, man. Because 2025, I'll be done with school and I'll really be able to like put all that stuff into play and then like run it up like crazy. So I'm just in preparation mode. So that's where you can find me.
I'm sure trying to collab with MPN.
Man,
I know we've been trying to get on MPN for 3 years now.
Man, listen. I already sent my audio sample. I got half a chain. I'm trying to get the full chain. So listen, 2025. You say okay? All right, say less.
Listen, I got to put the other half of the chain on Apple Pay, man. I'm sorry. Oh yeah. But no, y'all already on MPN, man. It just we got to make it official. We got to get that other half of the chain. But whatever my brothers got, man, MPN platform is always in place to assist with them and all that. So that'll be happening as well. That's my upcoming news as well. So
I love it. Again, just want to say thank you so much, S Square, for this opportunity. Al P, it's always a pleasure to collab with you as well. Name's Dominic Lawson. Again, the real Dominic Lawson on Instagram. Just my first and last name, as you see on the screen. On LinkedIn, let's see, just released a new episode of Black is America with Alvin Cash, telling the heroic story of a man who walked through fire to save his men, save his soldiers in Iraq. Also got the B Word coming out soon. New episode with my wife, Kenda. Soon to be multi-award winning show that I'm really proud of and stuff like that. Let's see what else I got going. Let's see, be speaking at a mental health conference outside of Nashville. And actually hopefully just working with other behavioral health companies, right? With their podcasting needs and things of that nature. You can reach out to me, like I said, on Instagram or on LinkedIn.
My brothers, and y'all kind of inspired this. We during my walks and we have our clubhouse chats. You got Black on Black excellence all throughout our group and the people that we touch. So again, I appreciate you all. Season 4. It was a struggle. It was a struggle. It's over, and I'm getting ready for season 5. They don't even know it yet. People are asking to come on now. I said, "Could y'all let me get rid of season 4?" No lie. In the last couple of days, I had at least 2 requests.
I believe it.
2 requests.
I believe it. That's a blessing.
And another one. Oh, we got to thank Ambiance Media Group for we got Tamika, Christy from there, and Pia Hargrove from there. Shout out to Dee Allen, because Dee was the middle woman, although she was cheating on me because she was sending all the stuff to another Shine, and I wasn't getting it. But as we got it together, we got 2 down. We got some more to go. So, in fact, there's some dates for that. Since y'all heard them tell you all that they were ready to do some more, y'all already got some assignments that y'all could go fight over. I'll put the dates in the thing. So, for all of us
again, much love. Thank you for supporting us for this season. We coming back September 17th, but there'll be some other stuff in between there. I'm trying to do some stuff with Black Music Month with all of our musicians that we've had on the show. You might get an impromptu podcast. That's where I get all my Black excellent friends, and we may ask a question, and we pontificate on that question. You might see it up. I'm on punishment for Urban Educator Forum because I got to finish this one thing first. So, Urban Educator Forum, there's actually an episode that's supposed to be coming up, but I'm waiting to hear from somebody. Yeah, I know how people are. So for all those things, for all my people, again, thank you all. Much love. Be well. See you season 5, but y'all see you all in the summer. And as Dominic Lawson say, keep it black.
Absolutely.
Peace out. Much love, you all.
You have just experienced a Dripping in Black production.